weekly roundup on SA Footballer TV. I'm Tommy Javor with
Darcy Evans. How are you, TJ?
Good, mate. Great job last week. Well done. On my absence.
Yes, improved the looks department, you not being here.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. Hey, it was a big round for Division 5 in round 11, and our first game we're going to look at, mate, was a battle of 5th versus 6th. If the Dolphins wanted to play finals, they had to win this.
Absolutely.
And did they?
They did. So CBC took on Rosewater, a bit of an upset, I think, this one. So CBC 9-18, so pretty poor kicking there. They could have obviously won by a lot more. Defeated Rosewater 6-10-46. So good win there by CBC.
I'll take the CBC side, mate, because there's a couple of names you can't say.
Correct.
Bowden kicked 3. The rest all kicked singles, so it'll be 6 singles. Rutai, I think that's how you say it, so I'd say my name for a spell like that, was best for them, along with Burns, Glenn and Stresnovsky, whilst for Rosewater.
Best players were Williams, Graffitia, Matt, Redden and Shah. Just go to the goal scores. Jacobson with 2, then singles to Johnson Schroeder.
He kicked 2.
Header, 2.
So the two
Shah and Williams, yes.
The two SA Football TV alumni both kicked a brace of goals each. So well done to our mates Huey and the Diff.
But I don't think the Steamboat will be very happy with that loss, I don't think. So it puts a bit of pressure on them. They are still in the 5, but I think it puts a bit of pressure on the...
Yeah,
lose the sides out.
Their percentage is inferior to CBC as well, so one more slip up and they're out the 5, and yeah, I made a silly prediction about them making the 5 this year, so it's not something anyone wants to see. Elizabeth, they've had a shocking year. They'd won one game all year, but after the break, they've come to Argana Park and they've done it. They've done it, the Eagles. They've won their second game of the year, so well done, boys. It was Elizabeth, 12 goals, 9-81. Greenacres, 8-58. A 23-point win. Goal kickers for the winners. Upton kicked 3. Stevenson and James both kicked 2 with a host of singles. Their better players were Ferber, Taylor, James, Hand and McConnell. Was for Greenacres, Dars?
Cooper, Little, Wright, Smith and Wheaton
were the better players, with only multiple goal kicker being
Smith with 4. Went under Smith. Yeah, he's a
good footballer.
Yeah, good footballer.
Aging but good footballer. Now, next one, Das, was the shootout. Was the total? How many goals did we have today? 39 goals in a game of footy. That is sensational.
And gut-wrenching for Poverty. They're on the bottom, and gee whiz, to come on and take Smithfield, who were probably there for their 4th, and to lose by the solitary 7 points with a very high-scoring game. That night they would have been probably happy with part of the result, but gut-wrenching they didn't get over the line. But
yeah,
gee whiz.
Went down by 7 points. Did we read the score?
No, not yet.
2015, 135 to Pulteney, 1914, 128. On the Pulteney side, Sampson and Curry both kicked 4. Interesting to see Aish only with 2. Also, Gurnett, Barris and Davies with 2. Best players, Sampson, Cleveland, Barris, Speak and Brody. Now, Smithfield don't have all their goal kickers there, mate. That does not add up to 20.
15, about
16. But give us what we've got there, mate.
Yeah, we've got Webb with 7, Nisbet with 5, Ashby with 2 and Bain with 2. So, but obviously there's a lot more there, but not in the paper or not here. So then we've got the best players, Towell, Lane, Thompson, Webber and Graham.
Yep, good win there for Smithfield. Before that game, they were 4th, and that will cement that position. They now move a good percentage and 2 games clear of 5th. So Smithfield look like they might, well, they probably will play finals, and they'll start with a home final. And the Smithfield supporter group, I saw them at that grand final at Payneham Oval. They're huge. They'll be tough to beat in the final at Smithfield. So, yeah, they've just steadied after that little lapse they had in mid or just before the mid-season break. So, really good win then.
39 goals. I haven't seen that in a long time.
No, it's a good one. Well, I mean, normally it's just one team kicking the majority of them. When both teams kick it that many, yeah, super effort indeed. So our next one, mate, it was Blackfriars and Hectorville. Now, this was our game of the round. Yes,
it
was. It was 1 versus 3 before the game. They might be top 2 now, but and it was the Hounds going to St Dom's Oval and just being too good in the end. 13 goals, 785. Blackfriars 5, 1141. It was a case of missed opportunities as Blackfriars had more scoring shots throughout the day until the last quarter. But Hectorville made the most of their opportunities. Mazzone kicked 3, as did Saul. Bottrell, Sebastiani kicked 2, a host of singles. Giovini, Ingle and 40 were their best players. 4 Blackfriars, mate.
Blackfriars best. Sorry, that's all right. No, Hillman with 2, Richardson, Valenti and Brincat. I can't read from this. You get the best players from this.
Fechner, Delamalba, Richardson, James Pluggerfake, Bailey and Brincat. A lot of best players for a day when you only kick 5 goals. 2 goals, 4 in the second half. Not really good enough. whilst Hectorville kicked 8 goals for. But our big upset of the round, mate, there wasn't too many upsets scattered across the rounds, but this one certainly was, because 7th place Glenunga, they went, it was at Webb Oval, so it was at home, but 2nd place Hectorville visited them, and they got done.
They did.
Lockleys.
Glenunga they had control up until 3/4 time. They were 50 points up at 3/4 time. They only lost by 14 points in the end. So Lockleys did come back, but it looks like Glenunga had control of the whole game. So well done to Glenunga, taking on the top side in Lockleys, and they got over the line by just the 14 points. But
probably their best, this is going to sound stupid, their best 3/4 effort of the year, Glenunga, to come 7th place, knocking off 2nd. They've kicked 5-5, 5-6, 5-3. So they've obviously got their structures right and had a really good patch there. Now, obviously, in junk time, teams do come back, but well done. I can see the Glenunga ones. Of course, we expect Burke to have kicked a few. He kicked 6, Roberts kicked 3, Venning 2, a multitude of singles. Mitchell, Harvey and Venning were their best, but for Lockleys, mate?
Yeah, Scully with 4, Narcy's with 2, Russo, Patton, Wilson, and gee whiz, there's about 5 other players there with singles. Best players, Pavic, Voicey, Martellino, ex-Finners Park boy, where he went to Lockleys, Buchecker and Scully, with his obviously the number of goals, with 4 goals he's kicked.
Our goal kicker is Chatty Burke, again with those 6 takes him to 47. He's leading Webber from Smithfield with 38. Ace with just the 2 this week has 37. Clark Rantassa 32 and Hillman 31. Looks like it's Chad Burke's medal or trophy to lose or whatever you get these days. And onto the ladder, mate. What stands out for you?
Yeah, probably just we look at it. I think Smithfield, they're probably cemented in the 4th. We've got Hectorville, Blackfriars, Lockleys and Smithfield. Smithfield are 2 games clear of Rosewater, who are 5th, so it's probably between Rosewater and CBC to try and make up that 5.
You suggest Glenunga 2 games out with a good percentage is certainly still in the mix.
Absolutely.
I mean, they've just beaten Lockleys, so you couldn't write them off.
And then, of course, Green Acres is Elizabeth Poultney, probably finding out for relegation, but Poultney's probably certainty with the, well, not certainty, but with just the 1 win, but Elizabeth and Green Acres.
And I mean, that really is a heartbreak for Poultney. Just like Division 6, the bottom 2 nearly came up with victories.
Against top sides. It wasn't if they were playing Green Acres or Glenunga, they were against Lockleys and the good side. So maybe that's just around the corner. Yeah,
you'd hope so for them, mate. Now, at the start of the year, do you remember who you tipped as your premiership fancy in Division 5?
I think I tipped Lockleys, actually.
Okay, all right. I had Blackfriars, and they've come off a shocker. So I thought Blackfriars and Rosewater would certainly be in the mix, but hasn't quite happened. Oh, you've got it up, mate.
Already?
Hectorville, the real surprise packet this year, take on Elizabeth coming off the good win. It's at Hectorville. Oh, you'd have to cut off me legs and call me Jimmy if I was going to tip Elizabeth in this one. Hectorville.
No, that's it, yeah, by Elizabeth, unfortunately. 2nd bottom, Hectorville top, having a fantastic year, so Hectorville can be out there at Daily Oval, so indeed.
Yep. CBC and Poultney. CBC coming off that great win. Poultney coming off the heartbreaking loss. It's CBC for mine.
No, I think CBC out there as well, indeed. Yep. East Parklands.
Yep. Green Acres and Rosewater, at the jail. Edwin Smith reserve. Now, if Rosewater drop this one, quite simply, they'll drop out of the 5. So they can't drop this one. They have to win. That surely will motivate the Diff and Steamboat and Trev and all the boys out there, Hughes, Johnson, Schroeder. They have to win. And when you have to win, sometimes you lift. And I think they'll lift for this one.
Yeah, I'm for Rosewater, but gee whiz, they lose this one, they're into the trouble.
The battle of 3rd versus 4th certainly is our match of the round. It's Lockleys and Smithfield. It's a replay of last year's grand final. They've already played once this year. Lockleys knocked them off at Smithfield. I reckon they'll be stinging from that loss last week, Lockleys. And I think
big time.
I think
absolutely.
I think they'll get the job done.
I agree. Lockleys out. Lockleys very hard to beat. I reckon they, as you said, stinging. They were so determined to come out and win. Pretty hard on the training track, I reckon, this week. But Lockleys for me.
And Glenunga and Blackfriars. This is an interesting one. Blackfriars no longer top. They're down to 2nd. Glenunga have had a fantastic win last week. If Glenunga want to play finals, they probably have to take another scout. It needs to happen this week for the boys, but Blackfriars should be
I'm going for Glenunga and upset this one.
Yeah, look, this is one of those ones a bit like West Adelaide beating North today, because it is Sunday. The missus said to me yesterday, she goes, I'll tip West tomorrow. Of course, I can't bet on Sanford, and we didn't.
Correct.
But she was right. It's just, you get a feeling sometimes. I just reckon you're right, Darcy. Wouldn't surprise me. I'll stick with Blackfriars just based on the fact they're 2nd, but I reckon Glenunga are a real show in that one. Should be an interesting week in Div 5.
Certainly will.
We'll be back next week.
See you later.